Nobody expected Flau'jae Johnson to say this publicly after battling Aneesah Morrow on the WNBA court. Because what started as a regular season matchup between former LSU teammates suddenly turned into something much bigger. A public validation of Kim Mulkey's entire basketball empire. And honestly, the internet is going crazy over it right now. Because after the game, Flau'jae didn't just compliment Aneesah Morrow. She basically sent a message to every critic who ever doubted LSU's stars would survive professionally. They didn't think she could play. That line instantly exploded online. Especially after Aneesah came off the bench and absolutely dominated with rebounds, hustle, physicality, and non-stop energy that kept smashing into Flau'jae all game long. And according to fans reacting online tonight, this wasn't just two former teammates facing each other anymore. This felt like LSU proving the entire basketball world wrong in real time. But then Flau'jae said something that changed everything. Mulkey made pros. The second that quote started circulating online, WNBA fans immediately started debating whether Kim Mulkey has quietly built one of the most dangerous pipelines in women's basketball history. Because now people are looking around the league and realizing something terrifying. LSU players are everywhere. Competing, producing, thriving. And according to fake insider chatter now spreading across basketball social media tonight, some fans allegedly believe this latest matchup may have officially changed how people view the entire LSU women's basketball legacy moving forward. Because what fans witnessed tonight allegedly wasn't just respect between former teammates. It looked like the beginning of a full-blown LSU takeover of the WNBA. To understand why Flau'jae Johnson's comments exploded online the way they did, you first have to understand something important about modern women's basketball. People love doubting LSU players. Seriously. For years, critics accused Kim Mulkey's system of creating college stars who relied too heavily on physicality, emotion, and college-level dominance instead of polished professional skill. That criticism followed LSU constantly. Especially after the rise of superstar personalities like Flau'jae Johnson and Aneesah Morrow. Because LSU wasn't just winning games anymore. They became a culture. Swagger. Confidence. Trash talk. Celebrity energy. Big personalities. National attention. And honestly, that made people emotional. Supporters loved LSU's fearless attitude. Critics thought the hype surrounding LSU players was bigger than their actual long-term professional ceilings. That debate never disappeared. And now suddenly? The WNBA is forcing people to revisit everything they thought they knew. Especially after Sunday's matchup between the Seattle Storm and the Connecticut Sun. Because while casual fans simply saw two rookies playing each other, basketball fans saw something much deeper. Two former LSU stars trying to prove they belong professionally. And according to reactions spreading online tonight, many people believe both players sent a loud message immediately. Especially Aneesah Morrow. Because for years critics allegedly questioned whether her size, offensive style, and rebounding heavy game would translate successfully to the WNBA level. People called her undersized, too physical, limited offensively. Some even questioned whether her dominance in college came more from effort than actual pro-level skill. That criticism followed her everywhere. But according to Flau'jae herself, people got it wrong. After the game, Flau'jae openly praised Aneesah and made it clear she believed Morrow had been heavily underrated coming into the league. And honestly, that praise hit differently because it came from someone who actually battled against her directly. Not media. Not fans. Not analysts. Another elite player. That made the comments feel authentic emotionally. Especially after Aneesah delivered 17 points. 16 rebounds. High energy. Big physical presence. And non-stop hustle off the bench. Those numbers shocked many people online. Because critics expected her to struggle adjusting physically to professional competition. Instead, fans watched her immediately impact the game through pure aggression, rebounding, toughness, and effort. And according to reactions online tonight, that performance started changing public perception fast. Then came the emotional quote that made everything explode. "They didn't think an undersized VA could play." That line spread across basketball Twitter instantly. Because sports fans love one narrative more than anything. The doubted athlete proving critics wrong publicly. That storyline always goes viral emotionally. Especially when the player succeeding carries a chip on their shoulder. That's exactly the energy fans suddenly felt from Aneesah Morrow. Then came the bigger twist. Flau'jae didn't stop at praising Aneesah individually. She brought up Mulkey directly. And honestly, that changed the entire conversation. Because once Flau'jae said, "Mulkey made pros," the internet immediately stopped viewing this as one good rookie performance. Now it became about LSU's entire basketball legacy. That single line completely shifted the emotional scale of the story. Because for years, critics questioned whether LSU's stars would truly flourish professionally once the college spotlight disappeared. Now suddenly fans are looking around the WNBA and realizing. Flau'jae thriving. Aneesah producing. Former LSU players competing everywhere. Even Brittany Griner sharing the court during the reunion moment. That image became symbolic online. Not just teammates succeeding, but a basketball pipeline growing publicly. And according to reactions spreading online tonight, many fans now believe Mulkey's system deserves much more respect professionally than critics previously gave it. Then came another emotional layer. The friendship and history between Flau'jae and Aneesah. That mattered emotionally because sports fans usually expect drama when former teammates compete professionally. Trash talk. Jealousy. Hidden tension. Instead, fans saw respect. Real respect. And honestly, that emotional contrast made the moment even more powerful publicly. Because after battling hard physically all game long, Flau'jae still sounded genuinely proud of Aneesah's success afterward. That authenticity resonated online immediately. Especially once fans started realizing these LSU players still emotionally move like family publicly. Then came another important narrative. Development. Because Flau'jae also made something else very clear after the game. She doesn't want to stay the same player all season. She openly admitted she wants a dramatic transformation from the beginning of her rookie year to the end. That quote mattered a lot emotionally. Because it showed hunger, ambition, awareness. And according to fans online, it sounded like someone preparing mentally to become much bigger than just a solid rookie. That future superstar energy caught people's attention fast. Then came the internet reactions. And honestly, that's where this story became much bigger than one WNBA game. Fans started reposting LSU highlights again. Mulkey clips resurfaced. People revisited old criticism aimed at LSU players and compared it to what they are now doing professionally. And suddenly the conversation online shifted toward one dangerous question. Did basketball fans seriously underestimate LSU's women all along? That question exploded publicly. Especially because women's basketball is entering a completely new era right now. More attention. More pressure. More media coverage. More comparisons. And once fans emotionally connect a program to future WNBA dominance, the hype grows fast. Then came another terrifying realization for critics. These LSU players are still young. Still developing. Still improving physically and mentally. And according to whispers now spreading across basketball social media tonight, some fans allegedly believe this latest reunion between Flau'jae Johnson and Aneesah Morrow may have been the first public glimpse of something much bigger coming soon. An entire generation of LSU stars slowly taking over the WNBA together. The moment Flau'jae Johnson publicly praised Aneesah Morrow after their WNBA matchup, the internet instantly split into two sides. And honestly, nobody expected the reaction to get this emotional. Because what started as simple post-game respect quickly turned into a full-scale debate about Kim Mulkey, LSU basketball, and whether critics completely underestimated this generation of LSU stars. The first major conflict exploded almost immediately online. Critics started saying, "It's one game. Calm down. Rookie hype always happens early." But supporters fired back hard. Because according to reactions spreading online, fans believed Aneesah Morrow's performance wasn't random at all. They believed it was validation. Validation after years of criticism. Especially criticism about her size, her offensive game, her fit professionally. People repeatedly doubted whether her rebounding heavy style would work against stronger, faster, and more athletic professional players. But Sunday changed the emotional conversation fast. Because audiences watched her come off the bench and immediately impact the game physically. 17 points. 16 rebounds. Relentless hustle. Physical energy. Non-stop pressure. And honestly, that performance shocked people. Especially because it didn't look hesitant. It didn't look overwhelmed. It looked aggressive. That confidence immediately caught fans' attention online. Then came the first major twist. Flau'jae Johnson didn't sound bitter at all after getting physically battled by Aneesah all game long. Instead, she sounded proud. And that emotional reaction changed everything. Because sports fans expected rivalry energy. They expected hidden jealousy, trash talk, competition. Instead, Flau'jae openly admitted Aneesah kept hitting her physically all game and still praised her success publicly afterward. That authenticity made the moment feel real emotionally. Especially once she started discussing how underrated Aneesah allegedly was throughout college. That line exploded online fast. They didn't think she could play. That quote became the emotional centerpiece of the entire story. Because fans love when overlooked athletes start proving people wrong publicly. Then came another dangerous twist. Flau'jae brought Kim Mulkey into the conversation directly. And honestly, that's when everything escalated. Because the second Flau'jae said, "Mulkey made pros," the internet immediately shifted from discussing one WNBA game to debating LSU's entire basketball culture. That single sentence triggered non-stop arguments online. Critics claimed Mulkey's players get too much hype because of LSU's massive media attention. Supporters argued the WNBA is now proving Mulkey developed real professionals all along. That debate exploded across basketball Twitter instantly. Especially because former LSU players are suddenly everywhere in women's basketball conversations now. Then came another emotional twist involving respect. According to reactions online tonight, many fans were shocked by how emotionally connected LSU's former players still appeared publicly. Because once Flau'jae started praising Aneesah sincerely after competing against her, fans emotionally interpreted it as LSU sisterhood, surviving even at the professional level. That narrative spread fast. People started reposting old LSU clips. Locker room moments resurfaced. Celebration videos returned online. And suddenly fans started emotionally viewing LSU women's basketball less like a college team, and more like a family producing professionals together. That emotional framing became powerful publicly. Then came another major conflict. Some critics allegedly argued Aneesah's numbers looked inflated because of rebounding opportunities and bench rotations. But supporters immediately pushed back. Because according to fans online, the stats weren't the most important thing emotionally. It was how she played. Aggression, motor, physicality, confidence, energy. Those qualities jumped off the screen publicly. And once audiences emotionally believe a rookie belongs professionally, the hype grows very fast. Then came another shocking twist. Fans allegedly started revisiting all the criticism LSU players received during college differently. Trash talk accusations. Too emotional criticism. Too flashy complaints. Overrated narratives. Suddenly supporters argued those same personalities are now helping LSU players survive professionally under pressure. That reversal changed public conversation fast. Because critics once viewed LSU swagger as weakness, now supporters viewed it as preparation for the spotlight. Then came another emotional moment. Flau'jae's comments about her OWN rookie development. That mattered more than many people realized. Because while praising Aneesah, Flau'jae also made it clear she refuses to stay the same player throughout her rookie year. That quote exploded online too. Because fans interpreted it as confidence, self-awareness, future ambition. And honestly, it sounded like someone mentally preparing to become a star. That energy excited supporters badly. Then came the first truly dangerous twist. People allegedly started comparing LSU's WNBA pipeline to legendary women's basketball programs publicly. That conversation shocked fans. Because for years, LSU discussions focused mostly on controversy, personalities, and media attention. Now suddenly, people started discussing legacy, professional development, WNBA success, future dominance. That shift became huge emotionally. Especially because women's basketball is exploding nationally right now. More viewers, more coverage, more pressure, more celebrity attention. And according to reactions online tonight, many fans believe LSU players are thriving exactly when women's basketball attention reaches historic levels. That timing matters emotionally. Then came another major conflict involving Mulkey herself. Because critics online argued Mulkey remains one of the most polarizing figures in sports. Some fans love her intensity and coaching style. Others believe controversy always follows her programs publicly. That debate returned immediately after Flau'jae praised her so heavily. But supporters responded aggressively. They pointed toward results. Former LSU players succeeding professionally. Confidence. Preparation. Toughness. And according to reactions online tonight, many fans now believe Mulkey's coaching style may actually prepare players better for the pressure and criticism waiting in the WNBA spotlight. That narrative exploded fast. Then came another emotional twist nobody expected. Some fans allegedly admitted they underestimated Aneesah Morrow completely. That reaction hit hard publicly. Because sports fans rarely admit they were wrong. Especially online. But according to viral reactions tonight, many people genuinely sounded shocked by how quickly Aneesah impacted the game professionally. That emotional reversal became incredibly powerful. Then came the biggest twist yet. People allegedly started realizing this LSU reunion moment might only be the beginning. Because when fans look around the WNBA now, they keep seeing LSU names competing, developing, producing. And according to fake insider chatter spreading online tonight, some individuals allegedly believe the next generation of WNBA stars may already be forming directly out of Mulkey's LSU system right in front of everybody's eyes. After Flau'jae Johnson publicly praised Aneesah Morrow and shouted out Mulkey, the internet somehow became even more emotional. Because suddenly this wasn't just about one rookie matchup anymore. Now fans started debating something much bigger. Has LSU quietly become the most dangerous women's basketball pipeline in America? And honestly, that question exploded fast online. Especially after people started revisiting how heavily LSU players were criticized during college. Too emotional. Too loud. Too flashy. Too dramatic. Too hyped. Those accusations followed LSU constantly. But now, fans suddenly started asking, what if all that pressure actually prepared them for the WNBA spotlight? That twist changed everything emotionally. Then came the major escalation. Social media users allegedly started reposting old clips of analysts doubting Aneesah Morrow's professional future before the draft. People questioned her size, her offensive versatility, her fit professionally, whether rebounding alone could carry over to the WNBA. But after Sunday's game, those old takes started aging very badly online. Because fans watched Aneesah immediately bring physicality, motor, rebounding dominance, and confidence against professional competition. That emotional reversal became huge publicly. Especially because basketball fans love when doubted players start proving experts wrong in real time. Then came another shocking twist. The respect between Flau'jae and Aneesah allegedly became more viral than the actual game itself. That surprised people. Because modern sports culture usually thrives on drama, beef, and rivalry narratives. Instead, fans watched former teammates publicly celebrate each other after competing physically for 4 quarters. And honestly, that authenticity hit hard emotionally online. Especially once Flau'jae openly admitted Aneesah kept hitting her all game and still praised her growth publicly afterward. That quote became symbolic online. Not just toughness, but respect earned through competition. Then came another dangerous escalation. People allegedly started comparing LSU's current WNBA presence to legendary college basketball dynasties publicly. That conversation exploded online fast. Because for years, LSU's women's program often got reduced to viral moments, trash talk, controversy, media attention. Now suddenly, fans were discussing professional development, WNBA readiness, mental toughness, and long-term league impact. That shift became emotionally massive. Then came another shocking reveal involving Mulkey. According to reactions online tonight, many fans allegedly believe Mulkey's coaching style specifically prepares players emotionally for criticism, pressure, and public attention better than most programs. That narrative exploded everywhere. Because critics always accused Mulkey's teams of being too emotional. Now supporters argued. The WNBA's emotional pressure, national spotlight, constant criticism, social media attacks, performance scrutiny every night. And according to supporters online, LSU players already survived all of that before entering the league. That emotional framing changed the conversation completely. Then came another twist nobody expected. Flau'jae's own rookie mindset started becoming a major talking point online. Because while fans initially focused on her praise for Aneesah, many people became obsessed with Flau'jae's comments about wanting to become a completely different player by the end of her rookie season. That quote hit hard emotionally. Because it sounded hungry, focused, professional. And according to reactions online tonight, many fans believe Flau'jae already sounds mentally different from most rookies entering the league. That perception boosted the LSU narrative even more publicly. Then came another emotional escalation. The underrated conversation. Because once Flau'jae publicly called Aneesah underrated, fans started revisiting how often LSU players allegedly get reduced to personality instead of basketball skill. That debate exploded online. Supporters argued. People focus too much on LSU drama, and not enough on actual player development. Critics pushed back and claimed LSU stars receive more attention than anyone else already. That debate became non-stop online. But emotionally, the underrated narrative kept growing stronger. Especially after Aneesah's production off the bench immediately backed it up statistically. Then came the biggest escalation yet. Fans allegedly started wondering whether the WNBA is entering a new era where former LSU stars become central faces of the league together. That theory exploded online fast. Because suddenly people started looking around the league and realizing LSU players are everywhere. Competing, improving, getting attention, building fan bases. And they are still young. That realization terrified critics emotionally. Because if these players continue developing, the LSU influence on the WNBA could grow much bigger over the next few years. Then came another shocking reveal. Some basketball fans allegedly admitted they underestimated Mulkey herself publicly. That reaction surprised people. because Mulkey remains one of the most polarizing coaches in sports. But according to reactions online tonight, supporters now believe the professional success of former LSU players is becoming impossible to ignore. Especially when those same players continue publicly praising Mulkey after leaving college. That matters emotionally, because athletes usually become more honest once they reach the professional level. So when Flau'jae openly says, "Mulkey made pros," fans emotionally interpret that as real validation. Not media hype. Not recruiting talk. Real player testimony. That made the quote incredibly powerful publicly. Then came another emotional twist. Fans allegedly started comparing the LSU women's culture to a sisterhood more than a basketball team. That narrative exploded online. Because even after leaving college, LSU players still publicly support each other aggressively. And according to reactions tonight, fans believe that emotional chemistry may actually help LSU players transition professionally better than many people expected. Then came the darkest twist for critics. Some individuals allegedly started worrying the exact personalities critics mocked in college are becoming the same personalities driving attention and popularity in the WNBA now. Confidence. Emotion. Swagger. Visibility. Fearlessness. That reversal changed the narrative dramatically. Because now supporters argue LSU players were never too much. They were simply ahead of where women's basketball culture was heading publicly. Then came the final terrifying realization spreading online tonight. This latest matchup may have only been the first chapter. Because according to fake insider chatter now circulating across basketball social media, some individuals allegedly believe Flau'jae Johnson and Aneesah Morrow could eventually become two of the biggest stars of the WNBA's next generation together. And if that happens, people may eventually look back at this reunion game as the exact moment the basketball world realized Kim Mulkey's LSU dynasty wasn't ending. It was just moving into the professional league. The second Flau'jae Johnson publicly praised Aneesah Morrow and credited Kim Mulkey for creating professionals. Basketball social media completely exploded. And honestly, nobody expected the reaction to become this emotional. Twitter instantly turned into a war between LSU supporters and longtime critics of the program. One side claimed this game officially proved LSU players were built for the WNBA all along. The other side argued fans were overreacting to one solid rookie performance. But once the clip started circulating online, the momentum shifted fast. Especially because fans couldn't stop reposting Aneesah's numbers. 17 points. 16 rebounds. Big physical energy off the bench. Those stats became emotional proof for supporters. Because critics spent years saying her game supposedly wouldn't translate professionally. Now suddenly, people were watching her dominate possessions against grown professionals immediately. That emotional reversal hit hard online. Then came the Flau'jae reactions. And honestly, that's where the story became much bigger than basketball stats. Because fans weren't just reacting to what she said. They reacted to how she said it. There was no jealousy. No bitterness. No fake politeness. She sounded genuinely proud of Aneesah publicly. That authenticity resonated online instantly. Especially in modern sports culture where fans expect rivalry drama constantly. Instead, they saw respect. Real respect. That emotional contrast made the moment go viral fast. Then came reactions from LSU fans themselves. And honestly, they treated the moment like full validation after years of criticism. Comments flooded social media saying, "They told us LSU players wouldn't survive in the W. Mulkey built dogs." Everybody mocked LSU until the league started filling up with them. Those reactions exploded everywhere. Especially once older clips resurfaced of analysts doubting LSU's stars publicly before the draft. Then came another emotional reaction trend. The underrated narrative. Because once Flau'jae publicly called Aneesah underrated, fans started reposting old criticism about her size, skill set, and professional ceiling. That narrative spread fast. Sports fans love watching doubted athletes prove people wrong publicly, especially when those players succeed through effort, motor, physicality, and confidence. That's exactly how audiences started emotionally viewing Aneesah after Sunday's performance. Then came the Mulkey debate. And honestly, this became one of the biggest discussions online. Critics argued Mulkey has always received massive media attention already. Supporters fired back aggressively, because according to reactions online tonight, fans now believe the WNBA success of former LSU stars is becoming impossible to ignore publicly, especially when the players themselves continue praising Mulkey after leaving college. That matters emotionally, because fans trust athlete testimony more than media narratives. So when Flau'jae said, "Mulkey made pros," the internet treated it like a massive statement about LSU's entire basketball culture. Then came another shocking public reaction. Fans allegedly started comparing LSU's current pipeline to powerhouse women's programs historically known for producing WNBA stars consistently. That conversation shocked people, because for years, LSU discussions often focused on controversy and personality more than basketball legacy. Now suddenly, people were discussing dynasty status publicly. That emotional shift became huge online. Then came reactions from WNBA fans outside the LSU community. Some admitted they genuinely underestimated Aneesah Morrow professionally. Others praised Flau'jae's maturity and leadership publicly after the game. That praise spread fast, especially because Flau'jae's comments about wanting major growth during her rookie season made fans view her as focused and self-aware professionally. That mindset impressed basketball fans heavily. Then came another emotional reaction: sisterhood. Fans became obsessed with how LSU players continue supporting each other publicly even after entering professional competition. That narrative exploded online. People reposted old LSU locker room moments. Celebration clips resurfaced. Practice footage returned. And according to fans online tonight, many people now believe LSU's chemistry and emotional culture may actually help players transition professionally better than critics expected. That conversation gained huge traction. Then came another controversial debate. Critics argued LSU players receive extra attention because of personality and media visibility. Supporters responded, maybe they get attention because they actually connect with fans emotionally. That argument became massive online, because women's basketball is evolving rapidly right now. More viewers, more media attention, more personality-driven stars. And according to supporters online, LSU players perfectly fit where the sport is heading culturally. Then came another emotional reaction involving future expectations. Some fans allegedly started predicting Flau'jae and Aneesah could eventually become cornerstone faces of the WNBA's next generation together. That theory exploded fast online, because both players are young, marketable, confident, emotionally engaging, and still developing professionally. That realization excited fans badly. Then came perhaps the biggest public reaction of all: validation for Mulkey. Because according to reactions spreading tonight, many supporters believe Sunday's reunion game symbolized something much bigger than one matchup. Proof that LSU's women's basketball culture allegedly wasn't built only for viral college moments, but for long-term professional success too. And according to fake insider chatter now spreading across basketball social media tonight, some individuals allegedly believe the WNBA may only be seeing the beginning of LSU's influence on the future of women's basketball. Just when fans thought the reunion between Flau'jae Johnson and Aneesah Morrow was simply a feel-good LSU moment, another terrifying realization started spreading across basketball social media. And honestly, this one changed the entire conversation. Because according to fake insider chatter exploding online tonight, some individuals allegedly believe the WNBA is entering a completely new era, and LSU players might be at the center of it. That theory spread fast, because suddenly fans started looking around the league and noticing something impossible to ignore: Former LSU stars aren't just surviving professionally anymore. They are becoming personalities, brands, voices, leaders, and most importantly, they are getting attention. That realization hit critics hard emotionally. Because for years, people mocked LSU women's basketball for being too loud, too emotional, too flashy, too dramatic. Now suddenly, those same qualities allegedly look perfect for the modern WNBA spotlight. That reversal changed everything publicly. Then came another shocking twist. Fans allegedly started revisiting old criticism about Kim Mulkey differently too. Because critics long argued Mulkey's system relied heavily on emotion, intensity, and media attention. But supporters now argue the modern WNBA requires players who can handle pressure, cameras, narratives, and non-stop public scrutiny. And according to reactions online tonight, many fans believe LSU players already developed those survival skills before ever reaching the professional level. That emotional framing exploded online, especially once people started comparing how confidently LSU rookies are handling national attention compared to many past rookie classes. Then came another emotional reveal involving Flau'jae herself. Because while everybody focused on her praise for Aneesah, some fans allegedly noticed something deeper in her post-game comments. Leadership energy. That realization shocked people. Because Flau'jae no longer sounded like just a talented rookie publicly. She sounded like someone preparing mentally to become a face of the league someday. Especially once her quote about wanting to become a completely different player by season's end started spreading online again. That ambition excited fans massively. Then came another dangerous twist. Some basketball commentators allegedly started arguing that LSU's women's program may eventually become more influential professionally than it ever was collegiately. That theory exploded fast. Because the WNBA landscape is changing rapidly. More money. More celebrity culture. More rivalries. More branding. More social media influence. And according to supporters online, LSU players are perfectly built for this era specifically. That realization terrified critics emotionally. Because if these players continue improving, the personalities people once mocked may become exactly what drives the league's next popularity explosion publicly. Then came another shocking reveal involving Aneesah Morrow. According to reactions online tonight, many fans allegedly believe Sunday's game officially changed how basketball audiences view her professionally. Not as undersized rebounder. Not as energy player. But as someone who may genuinely develop into one of the toughest matchup nightmares in the league over time. That shift became huge emotionally. Especially because fans watched her impact the game through effort, physicality, confidence, and non-stop intensity immediately. Then came another emotional escalation. People allegedly started imagining future LSU vs LSU WNBA battles becoming major television attractions. That theory spread everywhere online. Because fans love emotional history. Former teammates. Shared chemistry. Friendly rivalries. And according to reactions tonight, many fans believe the emotional connection between LSU players may actually create some of the WNBA's most compelling future storylines publicly. Then came the biggest twist yet. Some fans allegedly started asking whether Kim Mulkey's real legacy won't be championships, but the generation of WNBA stars she may have helped shape emotionally and mentally. That question exploded online fast. Because when former players continue praising a coach publicly after reaching the pros, fans interpret it differently. More honestly. More authentically. That's why Flau'jae's Mulkey made pros quote hit so hard emotionally. It sounded like validation from inside the system itself. Then came another terrifying realization for critics. These LSU stars are still developing. Still adjusting professionally. Still getting stronger. Still learning the league. And according to fake insider chatter spreading online tonight, Some individuals allegedly believe the current WNBA may only be seeing the early stages of what this LSU generation eventually becomes. That possibility excited supporters massively. Because if Flau'jae grows offensively, if Aneesah keeps developing physically, if LSU continues sending elite personalities into the league, then women's basketball may be entering an era where LSU influence dominates headlines for years. Then came the final chilling question spreading across basketball social media tonight. What happens if these former LSU teammates eventually become full-blown WNBA superstars together? Because according to whispers now circulating online, some fans allegedly believe this reunion game won't be remembered as just another rookie matchup. They believe people may eventually look back at this night as the exact moment the basketball world realized Kim Mulkey's LSU dynasty didn't end in college. It had officially entered the professional league. So now I've got to ask you. After everything Flau'jae Johnson said about Aneesah Morrow, the praise for Kim Mulkey, the LSU reunion energy, and the way these former Tigers are already making noise in the WNBA, what do you think this all means moving forward? Do you believe people seriously underestimated LSU players professionally? Or do you think fans are overreacting too early to one emotional rookie matchup? Because honestly, this feels way bigger than one game at this point. This feels like the beginning of a new era in women's basketball. An era where LSU stars aren't just dominating headlines in college anymore. They are bringing that same confidence, toughness, personality, and spotlight directly into the WNBA. And according to reactions exploding online tonight, fans are starting to realize something terrifying. Kim Mulkey may not have just built a championship program. She may have built a professional basketball pipeline that's only getting stronger. That's why the internet became so emotional over Flau'jae's comments. It wasn't just respect between former teammates. It felt like public validation after years of criticism, doubters, and people questioning whether LSU players could truly thrive professionally. So I want you all in the comments right now. Do you think Aneesah Morrow was underrated coming into the WNBA? Do you believe Flau'jae Johnson has future superstar potential? And do you think Kim Mulkey deserves way more credit for preparing players for the professional spotlight? Drop your real opinions below because this LSU conversation might become one of the biggest long-term storylines in the future of women's basketball. And if you made it this far, don't forget to like this video and subscribe because we've got more WNBA drama, women's basketball storylines, rookie battles, emotional reunions, and behind-the-scenes sports narratives coming very soon. Trust me, the next update could be even crazier than this one. Because according to whispers now spreading across basketball social media tonight, some fans allegedly believe the LSU takeover of the WNBA is only just beginning.